Dear spectators of the human tragedy, betrayal. It cuts deeper than a knife, a wound that festers in silence. I remember the moment it happened, as if time itself held its breath. The air crackled with tension, a prelude to chaos. Faces, once familiar, turned to masks of deceit. I stood there, a spectator in my own life, watching trust crumble like old stone. Reality shattered, and in that instant, I lost everything I thought I knew. Emotional turmoil rushed in like a flood, drowning me in confusion and pain. The heart, that treacherous organ, felt like a stone in my chest. Questions swirled around. How could they? Why me? The once warm embers of connection turned cold, and I was left grappling with an abyss of loss. Each breath became a reminder of what I had lost, a grotesque echo of laughter that no longer filled the room. But here's the truth: betrayal ignites a fire within. It's a blaze that can consume you or forge you into something stronger. That fire, it doesn't just destroy, it transforms. It lights the darkness, illuminating the path of the anti-hero. You stand amidst the ash, a phoenix reborn. In the crucible of pain, I found my strength. The flames licked at my wounds, cauterizing the hurt, turning it into fuel. I rose from the ashes, not as a victim, but as a force to be reckoned with. In the wake of betrayal, I became a master of my own fate. No longer would I be the pawn in someone else's game. The fire inside me became a weapon, and I wielded it with purpose. Each step forward was a declaration that I would not be broken. I carved my own path, marked by scars that told my story. Those who betrayed me thought they could snuff out my light, but they only ignited a blaze that could not be extinguished. And in that darkness, I discovered a power that thrived in the void. The shadows whispered secrets, and I learned to listen. They spoke of resilience, of rising when the world wants you to stay down. In desolate places, strength blooms like wildflowers through cracks in concrete. Each moment of despair became a lesson, a stepping stone on my journey to reclaim what was lost. I embraced that darkness. It became a part of me, a forge for the spirit I never knew I had. Life is not kind, and neither are people. They wield power like a hammer, ready to shatter trust and crush dreams. But I learned that power is a cycle. It shifts, it changes hands. Those who betray may feel invincible, but the universe has a way of balancing the scales. Time, that relentless force, has a way of delivering justice. The betrayers may revel in their triumphs for a moment, but the longer they dance on the graves of trust, the closer they come to their own downfall. I am not here to seek revenge. I am here to reclaim my narrative. The fire inside me is not just for destruction, it is a beacon of hope. I will rise, time and again, stronger and more relentless. Betrayal lit that fire, but I control it. I am the phoenix, soaring high above the ashes of my past, ready to embrace the future. The darkness has forged me, and through it, I will find my justice. I will rise. I will soar. And let the world watch in awe as I reclaim my power, again and again. Trust, like a fragile glass, shatters with the slightest betrayal. I stood there, the pieces cutting into my skin, each shard a reminder of the trust so easily broken. In the aftermath, I felt the pulse of power shifting beneath me, like the tremors of an earthquake. Those who once stood by my side now reveled in their treachery, blind to the darkness they unleashed. It's a dance of pride, isn't it? The betrayer, cloaked in arrogance, believes they hold the reins. But what they fail to understand is the delicate balance of power. It is a game, and they are but players in a cruel charade. Pride is a double-edged sword, sharp enough to inflict wounds both deep and wide. It blinds the betrayer, inflating their ego until it bursts, leaving nothing but emptiness. They believe they can walk away unscathed, but the universe has a way of reminding them that every action has a consequence. I watched them strut, their self-satisfaction a grotesque mask, unaware that the tides of power were turning. I was no longer the prey, I had become the storm. As the dust settled, I began to see the undercurrents of control that flowed beneath the surface. It was a web spun of deceit and ambition, binding those who sought power at the expense of others. Betrayal creates a ripple effect, and in its wake, it reveals the toxic patterns that emerge. Those who trust too easily become mere pawns in a game they never signed up for, while the betrayers, blinded by their own greed, dig their own graves. The cycle is vicious, and it leaves behind a trail of broken souls, each one a testament to the fragility of trust. In this darkness, I found clarity. I learned to navigate the shadows, to dance among the ruins of what once was. The isolation that came with betrayal became a sanctuary, a place to reflect and understand the true nature of power. Alone, I could hear the whispers of my own strength. I was not a victim, I was a survivor, and my scars were battle marks of a war fought in silence. The solitude that threatened to consume me turned out to be the crucible of my rebirth. Those moments of introspection revealed the truth I had long denied. Power is a cycle, but it's a cycle I could break. The pride of the betrayer became their downfall, a noose tightening around their necks as they reveled in their false triumphs. I watched as they stumbled over their own arrogance, blind to the fact that the very trust they shattered would be their undoing. The silence that followed their betrayal was deafening, filled with the echoes of their own making. I refused to be swept away in the tide of their toxic legacy. Instead, I forged my own path, stepping over the wreckage of broken trust. The darkness became my ally, a forge where I tempered my resolve. I learned to harness that power, to wield it with purpose, like a craftsman shaping steel. The betrayal was not the end, it was merely the beginning of an awakening. The very act of rising from that abyss became my weapon against those who sought to control me. I would not allow their pride to dictate my narrative. Instead, I transformed the pain into strength, the loss into a foundation for something greater. The cycle of betrayal would not ensnare me, I would stand resolute, a beacon of defiance amid the chaos. As I emerged from the shadows, I understood that every betrayal is a reminder of the fragility of trust and the strength that lies within the darkness. The power dynamics may shift, but I will rise, unyielding. I am the storm they never saw coming, the embodiment of resilience. And as the world turns, I will reclaim my narrative, and justice will be served, not with vengeance, but with the quiet certainty of a phoenix rising from the ashes, stronger than ever. In the aftermath of betrayal, the world seems to shrink, the walls closing in like the grip of a noose. Loneliness blankets the soul, wrapping it in a shroud of despair. The faces that once brought warmth now cast shadows, their laughter replaced with haunting echoes. Isolation isn't just a state of being, it's a chasm, a vast emptiness that swallows every flicker of hope. It is in this desolation that one must confront the truth, the deep, unsettling truth that the hand of betrayal leaves behind. Solitude, once a fleeting companion, becomes a relentless specter, whispering sweet lies about safety. It tempts you to retreat, to bury yourself in the darkness, where the pain feels less sharp, but the silence is deafening. Each heartbeat reverberates like a drum, reminding you of your own existence, a solitary echo in a vast void. It's easy to succumb, to sink into the abyss and let it cradle you in its cold embrace. Yet, therein lies the choice to either drown in that isolation or rise above it. Reaching out for support feels like stepping into the unknown, a gamble with your own vulnerability. Trust has been shattered, the very fabric of connection feels frayed. But what if, in the act of seeking help, one finds the strength to confront the chaos? What if that vulnerability becomes a shield, a weapon forged in the flames of betrayal? The isolation that once paralyzed can transform into a crucible for introspection, a sacred space where you confront your demons and emerge, scarred but unbroken. In that stillness, the darkness reveals itself, not as a foe, but as a forge. The flames of despair become the heat that hardens the steel of your resolve. It's in this solitude that I found my power. I learned to listen to the whispers of my own thoughts, to sift through the ashes of my spirit and unearth the embers of strength buried deep within. Each moment spent in introspection was a step toward self-discovery, a journey through the labyrinth of my own mind. I embraced that darkness, not with fear, but with curiosity, for it held the keys to my own liberation. The paradox of isolation is striking. It can suffocate you or set you free. It's a choice, a dance between despair and empowerment. In the shadows, I discovered the truth about strength. It blooms in desolate places, like a flower breaking through concrete. The scars of betrayal are not mere reminders of pain, they are the marks of survival, proof that I have faced the storm and emerged intact. The lessons learned in that solitude are etched into my very being, shaping the anti-hero I've become. With every moment of silence, I learned to harness that darkness. It became my ally, teaching me resilience, revealing the depths of my own tenacity. I transformed the isolation into a sanctuary, a place where I could rebuild, where I could forge my identity anew. The lessons of betrayal are etched into my soul, not as chains binding me, but as wings granting me flight. Emerging from this cocoon of solitude, I stand defiant against the echoes of the past. The loneliness that once threatened to consume me is now a part of my narrative, a chapter that speaks of strength and growth. I carry it with me, not as a burden, but as a testament to my journey. The darkness is no longer something to fear, it is the very essence of my rebirth. As I rise from the ashes of my solitude, I challenge the shadows that linger, transforming them into a force that propels me forward. Betrayal may have sought to isolate me, but it inadvertently forged a warrior from the remnants of my broken trust. The world may see loneliness as a weakness, but I know now that it is a catalyst, a fire that ignites the spirit, urging it to rise, to reclaim its power. In this embrace of darkness, I found not just survival, but a fierce, unyielding strength. The isolation that once felt suffocating is now my sanctuary, my forge. I am reborn, no longer a mere survivor of betrayal, but a phoenix, soaring high above the ashes of my solitude, ready to face whatever comes next. In the depths of that chasm, where silence reigns supreme and shadows dance with cruel delight, I discovered the raw essence of my being. Darkness, often portrayed as a villain, became my closest confidant, whispering secrets that only the brave dare to hear. It is in this abyss, void of light and filled with haunting echoes, that the true character is forged. The weight of betrayal, heavy and suffocating, transformed into the anvil upon which my resolve was hammered, shaping me into something sharper, something stronger. Embracing the darkness is not an act of surrender, it is a declaration of war against the chaos that seeks to consume us. Each moment spent in the shadowy corners of my mind was a lesson in resilience, as I learned to navigate the landscape of despair. Strength does not bloom in comfort, it flourishes in the desolation where hope seems a distant memory. Like a lone flower breaking through cracked asphalt, I found my will to thrive amidst the ruins of trust. Despair is a crucible, and I was the metal being forged within it. The heartache, the betrayal, it all became fuel for my transformation. The flames of my fury ignited a fire that burned away the remnants of my former self, leaving only the core of who I was destined to become. In that searing heat, clarity emerged. I learned that survival was more than a simple act, it was a testament to my willpower, a promise that I would rise again. Navigating through this darkness was akin to wandering through a twisted forest, where every tree bore the scars of betrayal and every path threatened to lead me astray. Yet, with each step forward, I uncovered fragments of myself that had long been buried. Pain, once a heavy cloak, became a badge of honor, and with every scar, I wore my story with pride. The lessons learned in this darkened realm were not shackles, but wings, granting me the freedom to soar above the ashes of my past. Isolation and darkness are often viewed as burdens, but I found them to be my greatest allies. They stripped away the facades and illusions, revealing the raw, unfiltered truth of my existence. It is in the heart of darkness that I discovered my purpose, a purpose forged in the fires of betrayal and tempered with the knowledge that I could rise stronger, unyielding in the face of adversity. In this sanctuary of shadows, I confronted my fears head-on. The haunting memories of betrayal no longer held power over me. Instead, they became stepping stones towards self-discovery. Each flicker of doubt was met with the fierce flame of my determination, igniting a blaze that could not be extinguished. The darkness shaped me, molded me, until I emerged not merely intact but transformed, a warrior reborn, ready to reclaim my narrative. The lessons learned from the depths of despair echo in my soul, a constant reminder of my journey. I have walked through the fire and emerged with scars that tell a story of survival and strength. The darkness is no longer something to escape, it is a forge that has crafted my very essence. It has taught me that true power lies not in the absence of pain, but in the ability to rise and embrace it, to let it ignite the fire within. As I continue to navigate this complex world, I carry with me the knowledge that darkness is not the enemy. It is a necessary force, a teacher that guides me through the labyrinth of life. The moments spent in solitude and shadow have shaped me into an anti-hero, a force to be reckoned with. I no longer fear the darkness, I wield it as a weapon, a source of strength that propels me forward. With each step I take, I embrace the shadows, knowing they have made me who I am today. The fire of betrayal ignited a transformation, and from the ashes, I rise, an unbreakable spirit, resilient and fierce. The darkness has become my ally, a forge where I continue to redefine my existence, ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead with unwavering resolve. The world is a stage draped in shadows, where justice often wears the mask of a fool. Betrayal, that treacherous dagger, slices through the veil of trust, leaving a gaping wound that festers unseen. It is in this darkness that the true nature of power reveals itself, a twisted game where the innocent are pawns and the guilty play king. I have danced with betrayal, tasted its bitterness, and emerged from its grasp with a hunger for something more profound than mere revenge. I seek justice, that elusive specter, forever just beyond reach. Justice is a slow march, a reluctant beast that crawls through the muck of human frailty. It does not arrive with the urgency of vengeance, it creeps forward, a shadow moving through the night. In the aftermath of betrayal, I learned this painful truth: the scales of justice do not tip easily. Those who wield power often believe themselves untouchable, cloaked in arrogance, blind to the reckoning that looms on the horizon. But time, that relentless tide, has a way of eroding even the strongest fortresses. What is revenge but a fleeting flame, a momentary blaze that leaves nothing but ashes in its wake? It is a siren song, luring the desperate into a whirlwind of destruction. I stood at that crossroads, tempted by the allure of retribution. Yet, in that moment of darkness, I realized the difference between revenge and justice is the weight of intention. Revenge is born from a desire to inflict pain. Justice, however, is a force that seeks balance, a reckoning that demands accountability. The anti-hero does not simply seek to settle scores, they rise from the ashes of betrayal with a purpose. My path is not one of blind fury but of calculated resolve. I became the architect of my own justice, ready to dismantle the structures of deceit that had imprisoned me. It is here, in this crucible of betrayal, that I discovered the power of my voice. Each whisper of truth, each revelation of lies, became a tool in my arsenal. I learned to wield them with precision, striking at the heart of complacency. As I stepped into the light of a new dawn, the faces of my betrayers became etched in my mind, not as objects of hatred, but as reminders of what I had endured. They may have thought they could shatter my spirit, but I became a mirror reflecting their own failings. The chains they forged from their deceit only served to strengthen my resolve, fueling the fire that burned within me. Justice is not only about punishing the wicked, it is about reclaiming one's narrative, turning pain into purpose. Each step I took toward justice was a step away from the shackles of my past. The satisfaction I found was not in the downfall of my enemies, but in the reclamation of my identity. The weight of betrayal transformed into a crown of resilience, a testament to my journey. I chose to rise, not as a victim, but as a force to be reckoned with. The shadows that once haunted me became allies in my quest for truth, guiding me through the labyrinth of deceit. In this darkened theater of life, I have learned that justice is a symphony played in the key of time. It swells and recedes, and while the world may rush to judgment, I find solace in the knowledge that every act of betrayal has a reckoning. The universe has a peculiar way of righting wrongs, and while I may be the harbinger of that reckoning, I understand that true justice unfolds in its own time. So, let the betrayers tremble beneath the weight of their choices. They may have ignited the fire within me, but I have become the phoenix, rising from the ashes of their deceit. I do not seek their destruction, I seek the balance that only justice can bring. In this darkened world, I embrace the shadows, knowing that with each act of defiance, I am carving my path toward a brighter destiny, one that is rich with the power of resilience, the essence of true strength, and the unwavering spirit of a warrior. In the depths of despair, where shadows entwine like serpents, I found the ember of resilience flickering within me. The world may paint darkness as an abyss, but I learned that it is the forge of strength. Each blow of betrayal, each moment of crushing solitude, became the hammer that shaped my spirit. Embracing the void, I discovered that there is beauty in brokenness, a strength that arises not from the absence of suffering but from the ability to withstand it. The darkness is not merely an absence of light, it is a palette, rich and deep, from which the strongest hues of determination are drawn. In those moments, when I felt utterly alone, I began to understand the paradox of isolation. It was in the silence that I confronted my demons, wrestled with my pain, and emerged with the scars of battle etched upon my soul. Each scar tells a story of survival, a testament to my evolution. I became the architect of my own fate, sculpting my identity from the ashes of what once was. Resilience is not a fleeting notion, it is a steel thread woven through the fabric of our existence. In the wake of betrayal, I learned to cultivate this spirit, to nurture it until it blossomed into something unstoppable. I became my own lighthouse, guiding myself through the tempest of emotions that threatened to consume me. There is an undeniable power in rising after every fall, a power that defies the weight of despair. Vulnerability, often misconstrued as weakness, became my greatest ally. I shed the armor of invulnerability, allowing myself to feel the sting of loss and the ache of betrayal. In that rawness, I found clarity. The courage to embrace my vulnerabilities transformed into a fierce strength. I was no longer defined by the wounds inflicted upon me. Instead, I became the embodiment of my survival. Each tear shed watered the seeds of resilience, giving rise to a garden of strength that flourished against the odds. Small victories became my compass, guiding me on this treacherous path of rebirth. Each step forward, no matter how minute, was a testament to my will. I learned to celebrate the quiet triumphs, the moments I chose to rise instead of retreat, the days I faced the mirror and saw not just the pain but the potential for greatness. With each victory, the fire within me grew, illuminating the shadows that once sought to engulf me. The phoenix, a symbol of rebirth, emerged as my muse. It is a creature born from flames, rising anew with every cycle of destruction. I, too, embraced this metaphor, for I had been scorched by the flames of betrayal, yet emerged stronger than before. The ashes of my former self became the soil from which my new identity sprouted. In the face of adversity, I became the embodiment of resilience, a testament to the indomitable spirit that resides within. In this journey, I learned that the fires of hardship do not merely consume, they refine. They strip away the unnecessary, leaving only the essence of who we truly are. I rose from the ashes, not unscathed, but transformed. The darkness that once threatened to suffocate me became a canvas on which I painted my destiny. I am no longer a victim of betrayal. I am the orchestrator of my own fate, a defiant force in a world that often seeks to silence the strong. The time has come to embrace the power that resides in rising again. Let the world bear witness to the strength forged in the crucible of pain. I invite you to join me in this dance of defiance, to rise from your own ashes and reclaim your narrative. Each of us carries the fire of resilience within, waiting to be ignited. So, rise, dear soul, rise from the darkness, for it is there that the true essence of your strength lies. Embrace it, nurture it, and let it guide you to a destiny that is unapologetically yours. In the aftermath of betrayal, where shadows linger like ghosts in the corners of a forgotten room, I stand amidst the wreckage of trust, surveying the chaos left in the wake of deceit. This is the solitude that clings like a shroud, heavy with the weight of shattered promises and broken bonds. It paints the world in hues of gray, forcing me to confront the abyss that betrayal creates. Yet, within this desolation, there lies a flicker of something potent, a call to reflect, to rise from the ashes not just as a survivor, but as a force to be reckoned with. Personal growth blooms in the most unexpected places, often where the heart has been bruised and the spirit tested. This journey is not merely about overcoming, it is about embracing the scars that tell the story of our resilience. Each betrayal, each moment of isolation, becomes a stepping stone toward a deeper understanding of self. We are not defined by the betrayals we endure, but by how we choose to respond. In the silence of solitude, I found my voice, the roar of defiance against those who sought to diminish me. Confronting one's own betrayals is not an easy task. It demands a reckoning with the past, a willingness to stare into the eyes of pain and say, "You do not own me." I challenge you to step into that uncomfortable space, to unravel the threads of your own narratives. The stories we hide within us, cloaked in shame and fear, are the very tales that can ignite a revolution within. Share your struggles, for in sharing lies the power to heal. Silence may protect us momentarily, but it also binds us in chains of isolation. The importance of sharing our stories cannot be overstated. Each tale of betrayal, each testament of resilience, serves as a beacon to others lost in their darkness. We are not alone in this dance of pain and recovery. We are part of a collective struggle, a tapestry woven from the threads of our experiences. When we speak, we shatter the silence that seeks to suffocate us. We give voice to the voiceless, strength to the weak, and hope to the hopeless. The act of sharing becomes an act of rebellion against the very forces that aim to break us. As I reflect on my own transformation, I see the scars not as blemishes but as badges of honor. Each one tells a story of survival, a reminder of the battles fought and won. They speak of moments when I stood at the precipice of despair and chose to leap into the unknown, to forge a new path where none existed. The lessons learned from navigating through betrayal are etched into my being, guiding me like stars in a darkened sky. Let this be a powerful call to action. Each betrayal you face is not just a wound, but a chance to forge a stronger self. It is a crucible that tests your limits and reveals your true potential. So, embrace the fire that betrayal ignites within you. Let it burn bright, illuminating the path toward your rebirth. Rise from the depths of despair, and let the world witness the strength that emerges from the ashes. You are not defined by your betrayals, you are defined by your courage to rise again. Stand tall, for you carry the weight of your experiences like a warrior carries their armor. You are equipped to face the battles ahead, armed with the knowledge that every scar is a story of survival, and every setback is merely a setup for a comeback. In this cruel world, let your voice echo through the darkness. Let your story inspire others to confront their own betrayals and rise with you. Together, we can break the cycle of silence and forge a new narrative, a narrative where strength is born from the ashes of pain and where resilience reigns supreme. Rise, dear soul, rise, and let your flame illuminate the path for all those who follow. Share this message if you understand that true strength is forged in the fires of betrayal. Leave a comment about the moment you transformed your pain into power, and subscribe for more raw, unfiltered reflections on the darkness that shapes us. Remember, in this twisted game of life, it's not the scars that define us, but the relentless will to rise again. Embrace your chaos, and let it fuel your relentless pursuit of justice in a world that often forgets the price of treachery. Rise, and let your story be a testament to the strength that thrives in the shadows.